My name is Hannah, and this is my beauty budget. Ugh, y'all. I'm a mess. I'm filming this on a Monday, and I had what they call too much fun this weekend. But it wasn't my fault. You know whose fault it was? Actually, I'm not even going to tell you whose fault it was. I'm just going to put their pictures up on the screen so you can see their guilty faces. Those were the culprits, and I hope they're sorry. But I'm rallying. I'm going to film this favorites video. I've got a bunch of awesome makeup style favorites to share with you for this month. But before we get into the meat of this video is once again sponsored by Home Chef. I'm very grateful to be able to say that this video is once again sponsored by Home Chef. If you're somebody who watches every video that I make, then you will have noticed that Home Chef has sponsored me to do a bunch of videos in a row. I mean, not like 4 videos in a row, but 1 video a month for 4 months in a row. And they agreed to do it all at once. Like at the beginning of the 4 months, they were like, we would like you to do all 4 of these videos and we'll sponsor you for all 4 of them. And that is really amazing because it means that for these 4 months, I have known that those sponsorships were in place, and that has meant that I've been able to relax and put more time into making videos each month and not worry so much about whether the cost-benefit analysis for time on my end would work out. So even if you're not someone who's interested in a meal kit delivery service and you're not going to click through the link and you're not interested in Home Chef, I just want everybody who watches me to know that Home Chef has supported my channel a lot over the past 4 months because of this string of sponsorships. And this is the last one. So I'm once again going to share with you my code, and then this is it. So I'm not sure if it's going to keep working for a long time. This is going to be like my last sponsored video from Home Chef in this round, but it'll be down below. It's the code for $20 off the first 4 boxes. And I also am going to insert a picture of the fresh and easy meal that was in the box that we got this month. It's like these meals that come in their own little tin, so you don't have to use any of your own pots and pans, and it makes cleanup really easy. And I actually took a picture of the one that I made this month. It was a pork chop and green bean dish. As the person who does the cooking in our household, I really appreciated being able to throw together those fresh and easy meals. Did I say quick and easy? It's fresh and easy. The fresh and easy meals, every once in a while, they take so little prep, so little time, and they come out really well. And I always ordered the oven ready ones, but they also have a grill ready version of the fresh and easy meal option. And there's also a healthy salad version, which you just mix it together in a bowl. Like that's how quick and easy it is to prepare. So thank you so much to Home Chef for sponsoring me to just briefly talk about fresh and easy with you guys and to share my code. It's been really great working with them, and again, I'm really, really grateful, and I just wanted to share that with you guys as well, not just to share the code and to share that I've enjoyed those fresh and easy meals, but also to share that it's just been a good experience being supported by that brand. All right, I've got a list of favorites burning a hole in my pocket. Let's go ahead and get into the meat of the video. So I've put 4 makeup aesthetic style technique things, and actually one of them is a product that I've had for a really long time, since before my know by year, but that has re-emerged as a favorite this month, and I always like to share with you when that happens. And then I have 3 sort of like scheduling, lifestyle, one of them is a recipe, like that kind of thing. So we're going to start with the makeup stuff. So the first thing that I've just been doing, what I always try to do for these favorites videos is to throw back over the month. Oh, and I forgot to even say, and this is because of those culprits at the beginning of the video, my mind is all over the place. I forgot to even say that this is my favorites for the past 2 months. I didn't film a favorites video for September at the beginning of October, and nobody noticed. I don't think. Nobody said anything about it. I didn't even really notice until I got around to doing this one. Then I was like, oh, garbage. I need to do it all at once. So I have cast my mind back over the past couple of months, and I've tried to think of what it is I've kind of been defaulting to, gravitating to, what kind of looks that I've been doing. That's what I'm always doing in these favorites. It's like what's on trend in my heart right now, in my life, in the life of my mind, in my makeup mind palace. What is decorating the walls? Like that's what this video is. Maybe I should change the title. Instead of monthly favorites, I'll be like in my makeup mind palace, what is decorating the walls in October. Probably wouldn't get any clicks. Anyway, the thing that I've been doing on my eyes, I tried to do it today, but I got a little carried away compared to what I usually do on the daily. I just wrote smudged out taupe eye with a pop of duochrome. So basically it's taking like a sort of rich, satiny, shimmery taupe shadow and putting that all over the lid and really smudged out, really smoked out under the eyes as well as what would be an all over the lid single shadow look. And it could be that, but then what I've been doing is to go into a duochrome shade, like a blue brown pigment type of shade, or something like ColourPop glass bowl, like a green to gold, or one of the ones in the Natasha Denona gold palette, like those sort of sheer toppery type shifting shades, and to pop that on the center of the lid and smudge it up above my crease, but just in the center. So it gives sort of a more swollen, shimmery, iridescent look to the entire situation on my lids. It makes it just a little bit more than a plain, grungy, smudged out, smoked out taupe single shadow eye look, but it still has that effortless feeling. So it's been so awesome, and I've been doing it now for so long, like definitely for these past 2 months, it's been my default, that I'm starting to feel like it might not go away. Like it's not just a trend, it's not just a favorite right now. I'm starting to feel like this technique is settling in as like an HLP classic. And for that reason, I will definitely do a tutorial on it sometime soon. And what I want to do especially is to spotlight the Adept singles that I've been using for this look, because I had kind of been toying with it, the smoked out taupe with the iridescent pop in the middle. I'd been toying with it earlier, and then when I received those singles from Adept, I started mobilizing some of them for this look, and I got my life so hard. It has just been amazing. I think that I have discovered my actual dream taupe shadow. Gosh, what I really should be doing is saving that for the upcoming video about new things that have impressed me. And in that video, I'll be more specific about the Adept shadows, but I feel like it's such a tease to say that in this video without telling you what the actual one is. So I'm just going to tell you this one shadow because it has been a true favorite since it arrived. So it's ACS 17, and it's most of what's on my eyes right now. Most of this look was built with this ACS 17. It's just like a really perfect grungy mid-toned taupe. Not too cool, not too warm, super creamy and pigmented, lots of good grungy sheen. And this little single, you cannot pry this from my cold dead hands. Like this has become one of what I think will be like my all-time favorite eyeshadows. So that got like a little bit product specific, which is not my intention with this video. And I'll go more in depth about those singles in a later video. But doing this kind of eye look with that kind of shadow, and then with a pop of some kind of, right, today I have like a blue brown type of shifting one on that is also an Adept single. And then sometimes what I'll do, and what I did do today, was take an even darker shimmery shadow and press it into my outer corners to just make it a little more dramatic and smoky. But for daytime, for not being on camera, usually what I'm doing is just using that taupe shadow and then one highlighting shadow, tons of mascara, and a little bit of maybe sort of brown or taupey brown eyeliner, and then out the door. It's settled in as a go-to look in the way that almost no go-to look has settled in before. So that's exciting. It's exciting to like find a new thing that's you forever, or at least that's what it feels like right now. And needless to say, and I really do feel like this is needless to say, like I think that I don't really need to say this because you guys really get it, but I do like to say this, rephrase this from time to time just to drive it home. It's not about those exact shadows. It's not about the ones that I have. It's about the idea of this look. And you definitely have shadows that you can use to recreate this kind of thing. Any old taupe will do, even if it's a super warm toned taupe, a super cool toned taupe, even if it's a matte, you could still do it. I prefer a shimmer, but you could do it with a matte, and then popping anything in the middle, even if it's just really shiny or glittery. It doesn't necessarily have to be a duochrome. You can mess around with the idea of what has become my classic look using what you have. You don't have to go out and buy what I have. So that's been killer. And then the other thing that I've been doing that's so weird, like this is why I like this video, because trends will arise in my own personal makeup life that are so weird. And this one in particular is something that I haven't done for years. I've been doing something over the past month or so that it literally has been years since I have rocked this particular look. I say doing something, but really the curious thing is that it's a thing I have been not doing. And that is putting stuff on my cheeks. I've been leaving my cheeks completely bare on many days. And since I got more into makeup, pretty much I've never done that because I love cheek products. And so I never pass up the opportunity to wear them. But lately, especially with the sort of grunged out eye look and a very light base, sometimes I do the eye look, put on all the mascara, fluff up my brows, and then I look in the mirror and I look at my cheek and I look at that just like sheeny, flat, washed out creaminess of that blank cheek. I see it in the mirror and I just don't want to mess with it. I don't want to put anything on it that's going to look like powder. And I don't want to put anything on it that's going to cause more contrast on my face by like drawing up my cheekbones or drawing out color. I just want it to be sort of this pale, wan, but again, slightly sheeny, usually because of whatever primer I've used, or even just if it's my sunscreen that I'm seeing. So it'll have sort of a very, it's like a healthy skin sheen because of my skincare. And I've just been enjoying that, especially with a slightly grungier eye. It looks very natural, but I don't mean natural like I woke up like this, because obviously I didn't wake up like this, but natural like it's natural to wear it this way. Because so many women, I feel, especially women who are, I don't know, like too busy, like cooler than me and too busy to do much with their makeup, they'll do one thing, like smudge in something in their eyes and put on some mascara, and then that's it. It's like no makeup on the rest of the face, actually no makeup. Not like a no makeup sculpt, but like no makeup blankness. It's been making me feel kind of chic to do that, to just leave my cheeks blank. So I had to put that on the list because I never have done it on camera except for today, because these lights are really intense and it probably isn't doing me very many favors today. But in real life, nobody's looking at me from across the coffee shop where I'm sitting writing and being like, that girl looks washed out. Like it's not how it goes. So I've just been enjoying leaving my cheeks blank. And then in a contradictory manner, the next thing I have on the list is the product that has risen from my collection once again into the spotlight, which is my true old standard for cheeks, my Kevyn Aucoin Neo highlighter in Sahara. And that's what I use for bronzing almost anytime I want to bronze. Part of what I wanted to mention is that the last time I went to link this in my description box, I saw that they have repackaged it in a smaller and less expensive package. I believe now that if you go to purchase the Kevyn Aucoin Neo highlighter in Sahara, which is this product, it comes in this size, which is the Neo bronzer. That's what this is. So this is the Neo bronzer. I believe that the Neo blushes have always been this size as well. And I think that they're now selling the Neo highlighter in this size for $38 instead of the like $68 or something that the big size was. And I think it's a great idea, not only because it takes forever to get through one of these, although I did use up, I did completely pan one of these giant Neo highlighters because I was using it as a bronzer every day for a really long time. Not only does that take a ridiculously long time, but it's fragile because it's such a wide, flat pan. This size is just way less fragile, easier to travel with, etc., etc. And the best thing, it's no longer such a pricey prospect to try out that product. So I'm excited to be able to share that with you guys, because you guys know that this is one of my just all-time ride or die complete holy grails, like the best of the best. And I've just been reaching for it a lot lately. I've either been going with nothing on my cheeks, or if I really feel like I need to sort of balance and warm up my face, and if I need to darken my neck a little bit, if my face is looking way darker than my neck and I need to balance it out, I've just been grabbing that a lot because it's so natural and the color is so subtle and buildable. So I know that I can just add a little bit of sculpting without looking like I'm wearing much makeup on my face, which again has kind of like been the trend over the past month or two. And then the last thing, it's hilarious because I've been like, no makeup easy, not a big deal, like looking like I'm cooler than I am. That's what I've been into. Yeah, like I just said that, and now again, the thing I'm gonna say last in terms of makeup is gonna contradict all of that, which is that I started wearing lashes a couple days last week. So this is very recent. I got these lashes from Elysium in the mail. They have color in them. There's like one with purple, there's one with green, there's one with blue. I just couldn't resist it. I bought some lash glue with my budget. I like spent my budget on lash glue so that I could wear these lashes. And I've just been clipping off the tiniest bit and putting them in my outer corner. And so I was wearing them in Wednesday's video, I was wearing them in Sunday's video, and you can see they just make my eyes look enormous. And of course, like I'm not the first, I'm the last person to discover this. Like everyone knows why lashes are fun to wear. They really enhance your eyes. They make your eyes look bigger. They make your eyes look more dramatic. And I think that the old lash glue that I had ever been using before was really intense. It was the one from House of Lashes. The one I got is from Duo, and it just doesn't do as much of a number on my natural lashes. And just using a tiny speck of lashes in the corner, it's much easier to apply them and remove them, and I just been loving it. On, what was it? It would have been Thursday last week, I think. I wore lashes to work for no reason. Lashes. I wasn't filming, I wasn't seeing anyone. I just was like, did a little bit of makeup, smudgy, grungy taupe eye that morning, just like this one. And I was just like, purple lashes on the edges. And then I went to work. I mean, what? I just could not mention it. I can't say it's like a true favorite over the past 2 months because it sort of only just started, but it has been tickling me to no end to get back into a little bit of a lash here and there. Okay, those were the 4 like style on my face type of things, like the 4 things I feel like I've been doing in my makeup world that I wanted to share as favorites. Now let's get into the slightly more broad context ones, although this one is also makeup related and it's rearranging my stuff. And I touched base on this in my video about ways to resist the urge to overspend on makeup during the holidays. I talked about how rearranging your stuff, shopping your stash, and makeup playtime is one of the ways that you can sate your makeup hanger, and then you're less likely to impulse buy and to overspend. And I just needed to mention it again in this video because I have been so gratified by the sort of new, fresh love and excitement for my own little belongings that rearranging them has occasioned. Like I said in that video, every morning I'm like, oh, my makeup, how are you? It's so nice to see you. And that is how I felt. And it's just because I like switched the Purgatory box with the acrylic lipstick container, and I like switched the primers and the base products in my drawer. Like I didn't do that much, but with a little bit of culling and a little bit of rearranging, I just have renewed my interest in my own stuff, and it was a true favorite over, I would say, like the past couple of weeks. And then I've also really been enjoying the use of what I have and the sort of pointed shopping my stash and duping the vibes. I did that video where I duped the vibes of the Tati Beauty palette, and I made my own little palette that ultimately is very different from hers now that it's fully been revealed. I mean, there are some ways in which I kind of had a sense of how hers would look, and then there are so many ways in which it's not the same palette at all. Like I don't have a dupe palette for that palette in my magnetic palette. That's just not what the project was. It's not what I did. I wouldn't have been able, I think, to do something like that. But that's not the point. The point is that no matter who or what it was inspired by, the act of putting together my own little texture-inspired palette and rearranging and searching and switching out and then having it there, that has been so inspiring and it's been so exciting. And actually the grungy neutral taupe thing with the pop in the middle, I have been reaching into that vibe dupe palette, that Tati Beauty palette inspired singles palette. I've been reaching into that all the time. And once again, it has just refreshed my love of the belongings that I already had and just made me have such a good time with what I own. So I'm grouping that all into one favorite, one category. And I think that if I were to sum it up, I would just say that rerouting, this is like an age-old adage here on my channel, but rerouting my attention away from new stuff and back into what I already own, refocusing on what I already own, rearranging, mixing, testing, playing with what I already own. It's just a perennial favorite, but it has really come through for me over the past month or two. Okay, second to last on my list of favorites over the past 2 months has been fashion content on my own YouTube channel. I am making an actual concerted effort, a push, to branch out into more fashion content, and I'm still such a baby at it. Like, I feel like my fashion videos over the past couple of months, the one where I unboxed all of my winter sweaters and put together winter outfits, the one where I cleaned out my closet, those videos are much less polished than my talking head style videos because I just have less of a handle on like framing and background and sound and organization and editing because it's new to me. It's like I'm doing something that I haven't learned how to do yet, if that makes sense. So it's a little bit hard for the perfectionist in me to be interspersing these less polished videos into a channel that's still not that polished because it's only been a couple of years. But, you know, my ability to make the videos sort of as well as I can has grown since I started, and I feel like introducing a new type of content is like dipping me back down into being a noob again. And so it hasn't come without its sort of mild stressors, but I've loved it. I was so excited about both of those videos. I was so proud of them, and I enjoyed filming them so much, and I had so much fun interacting with you guys in the comments on those videos. So I just had to include it in this list because it's been a real joy, and I'm already kind of like brainstorming other fashion related videos to include, and I wanted to kind of let you guys know that it's something that I'm making an active effort to do. It's hard because it's new, but I really, really want to share my style in other realms besides just the face on my channel. So I'm working on it and I love it. And then lastly, I could not let you go without telling you about a recipe that I have had for a long time, but I haven't made it until recently. Like, I recently remembered it because you guys know that I eat almost no processed food and almost no sugar and even sweet things. Like, I try not to eat too many sweet things because it can quickly devolve into me like wanting to eat all the sweet things. So it's just a realm in which I try to exercise like pretty controlled moderation, if that makes sense. And I recently was just like, I need like a cake. I just need to like eat some cake. And I remembered that I had this old recipe for sun butter brownies. So it's like brownies, but the ingredients are basically sun butter, which is sunflower seed. It's like peanut butter, but it's made out of sunflower seed, so it's actually nut-free, I believe, the cake. So it's sun butter and eggs and cocoa, and then there's like a couple of other ingredients like baking soda and a little bit of vinegar and stuff like that to make the cake puff up in the oven. But when you eat it, you're basically eating sunflower seed, butter, eggs, and eggs. Like, that's basically it. It's like a protein. It's like an egg-based protein chocolate bread. But depending on how much sweetener you use, I think that you can use maple syrup or you can use honey, so these sort of not as intense sweeteners as sugar, but depending on how much you use, it can taste more like a cake or it can end up tasting more like kind of a chocolate bread. And the one that I made, I used honey and I didn't use that much of it, so it did end up tasting more like a chocolate bread, like a protein, like a chocolate protein bread. But it looked and smelled and felt so much like eating a brownie, and it was so yummy and it was so satisfying and filling that I had what I needed. Like, it gave me what I needed, and I got to mix it up and bake it, and it smelled good, and just the whole experience was very much like that of like baking brownies and having brownies, which is something that I haven't done in a really long time, nor do I want to. It's not a situation where I'm like pining away about brownies, because I just know that they would sit like a rock in my stomach and make me feel bad, because I just don't digest wheat-based things very well, and sugar kind of makes my energy spike and then crash. So I didn't actually want to eat brownies, but it was nice to have the experience of like baking something fragrant and eating something indulgent and yummy, and just knowing that it wasn't gonna like mess me up and throw me off the deep end and mess up my digestion and do all the things that real brownies would do for me. And it feels like a secret that is too closely kept, this recipe for sun butter brownies. So if that sounds like something you might be into, or if you're also someone who tries to consume a little less sugar, or if you've been thinking about moving in the direction of consuming a little bit less sugar, it might be worth checking out. You might hate them, like maybe only I like them because I haven't had a real brownie in so long that they're amazing to me, but I don't know. I just know there are some of you out there who will appreciate that as one of my monthly favorites, and I think I might make them again tonight. The one thing I'll say if you follow that recipe is don't over bake them. Like I think it says 25 or 30 minutes in the oven. I would say err on the slightly underbaked side, a little bit on 25 minutes, because if they do get quite dried out, they really do feel like bread, whereas if they stay a little bit moist, then they feel a little bit more like eating a brownie. And that is it. That is it. That is it for my favorites tonight. I was going to say today, but it is the night now. And thank you so much to Home Chef once again, not only for sponsoring this video, but for having had me on board for 4 videos in a row for the past 4 months in a row. It means a lot to me. It means that they believe in my channel. It's very encouraging. And the actual support, the actual sponsorship support is invaluable to me as I move forward with trying to produce more content and trying to make my channel more robust. So again, the code and the link and everything will be in the description box down below. Thank you all for watching, and I hope that you're remembering to take extra good care of yourself this week so that you can be the most effective version of yourself as you do your work in the world.